Good morning, everybody. It is Halloween. Mike here with Jerry for episode 28. It's been a while since we've been on the air. Last time was in May when we were getting rocked in the markets, and doing little bit better since then. So, Jerry, are you in a better mood these days?
What? Me? I'm always in a great mood, but yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay.
You're right. It's Halloween in Florida here, and we're gonna have a big night, Lisa's big night. So,
This is her
yeah,
time to shine. I
this
forgot.
is
Yeah,
her
she
time to
she she
shine.
she,
Yeah,
she puts on a huge show,
big
buys
show.
all the candy in Tampa.
Ah, amazing. Only the large bars will do. But I'm not dressed up as a turtle this year. It's all about Wicked, and I am gonna be the wizard tonight. So
Oh, okay.
step into my role. But yeah, we should have done podcasts since then to show how brave and tough we are in the midst of continuing to lose money throughout the summer and just been really confident. And that's, I think, one of the things I want to talk about today is we should be incredibly confident and bullish on what we do because we've got a long track record and we have a big back test. And we've seen this happen before, and our confidence needs to be at level 10 all the time, especially, but it's almost impossible. I mean, it doesn't mean we stop doing the right trades and we don't do the trades and we change things and we do all the things we shouldn't do. No, we keep head down doing all the things that we know we should do, maybe not even any tinkering at that time. But psychologically, we're not out there telling people how wonderful trend following is because they would probably, what, laugh at us? But then
Well,
when it comes right back, they'd say, man, Mike and Jerry, they knew what they were talking about.
and I also have these conversations in my head that they might say, we're getting to some of my issues of yeah, being shy, feeling embarrassed. Performance stinks. I can't tell anybody about this. I got to run and hide because it's so embarrassing, at least in the short run. But then they're the same people say, "What? I wish you would have. I wish you would have gotten in touch with me because now things are rocking and I'm getting rocked in my other stuff. So I needed this. I need you to show up for me. Uh, I can't always hunt for. I don't know even know what I'm looking for. And oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So um, I'm jealous and envious of some of the people that do it better than I do. And
You mean do the marketing better than you?
yeah, they just
Yeah.
it doesn't deter them as much. They're a little bit more. They don't take it personal. That's
Well, yeah. Taking
I
it
take it
personally.
very personally.
Oh, I
So
know. It's
that's
impossible not to.
that's bad. It's not healthy. Um,
Have you
to
ever
be.
heard, have you ever done a big push during the drawdowns and have you ever heard anybody else, any other CTA do a big push saying things like, you should buy trend following now that it's at a low for a while. And this was one of the worst drawdowns ever, right? In the CTA indexes, I guess.
Yeah.
And but everybody else in every other sector, whether it's certainly in stocks, people are always trying to get in near the low. It's been beaten down. Now might be a good time to buy. But in the trend followers, we kind of act like we're a little shy to do that, and we don't encourage people to like now's a good time to buy the trend followers because they've been beaten down so bad. But we should do that, and we should have people encourage people to do that, and especially with ETFs. I mean, that's what people do. And we trade a lot of stocks as you do, and there's some days out there. This is not going to come as news to most people, but CTAs are not that experienced in trading stocks. Um, but one of the things I've noticed is that you can have kind of a reasonably bad day in the stock market, and my shorts are up on the day, the ones that have been
Mm,
beaten down, because people are like,
mm-hmm.
oh hell yeah, let's get rid of these high flyers and let's go into these ones that have been beaten down. I've been waiting to buy the lows here, and so this is in human psychology to buy the lows. But I guess maybe we're training people too well to be more trend following, but don't trend follow your trend followers. Buy the lows.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a system of you know, rebalancing into it or
Rebalancing. I love it.
something
Yes.
like that. I think with buying the drawdowns, you may want, in the case of, oh yeah, I keep buying the dips, and I think this happens to equity index investors as well, just equity investors in general during bear markets. They're like, okay, yeah, this is great, good deal, good deal, good deal, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and they're going, uh, and then they crap out, panic out, and then you get the bottom. You get a lot of that selling near the bottom. So I think with trend following as well, any system, any strategy, any stock, or any investment of any kind, you go, all right, you're going to buy dips, okay, you're going to rebalance, sell some of your winners, rebalance into your recent losers, sort of thing. Okay, well, you may want to consider, how much you could take there too, because that's having a system is great, but you got to be able to do it, and you got to make sure maybe what kind of drawdown you're buying into when it's all right. We got a 10, and then we got a 20. Like, can you do all that all the way down to 50, 60, or something?
Yeah.
Something even more egregious, and Nasdaq or something where it's been down 80 plus before,
Mm.
like 80 plus. You know,
Yeah.
you ready? You ready for that? Like, if you are ready, okay, you're a great advantage. But if you're going to do it using data that you're not aware of how big the drawdowns can get, and you keep buying, and then you get other ideas when you're into it and say, yeah, I don't think this is a good idea, and then you know there it goes. You ruin the whole efficacy of the thing. So uh, yeah, I've been pounding the table for years about doing it, but yeah, it really helps to, I think, have a this is my rebalancing methodology to do it, and I know this drawdown can get bigger, so it's not going to force me to crap out, and it's not going to stir up my emotions too much. But yeah, I've seen people write about it, show studies about it, like the stats, like, oh, the recent, what are the next 1-2 year performance windows when the recent 6 month, a year window was negative or something like that. And it's okay, high odds that the next window is going to be positive and had produce a pretty good return. So, oh yeah, buying into drawdowns makes sense. Okay. Um, then I think it's, just coming up with a way to just do it, and then do it. Because I know
Yeah. I
it
mean,
can be tough.
I think if you really believe the numbers, then, the expectation of the trades, and you can rely upon the back test, you would just have no emotion um, as it relates to losing money, and always having a positive attitude. And your whole main issue would just be continuing to follow the rules, follow the system, don't miss any trades. Um, and then the great traders that I've seen over the years, ones I've really admired, Salem was one. He just was like not even considering it, not even thinking about it. Just, we got a job to do, and let's just get our job done and um, move forward. No emotion.
Great way to be. Um,
Traders need to um, create a situation where they're really into research and designing the systems and building the portfolio and concentrating on those things, and then send the trades, put themselves in a situation where they're not also doing the trades or even watching performance. I can tell you, um, I watch performance less than anyone. I have to lie because people ask me, how'd you do this month? And I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I haven't looked in 6 months. And so I have to make up something, and they'll say, where's your performance? Tell me how you did. I'm like, oh, it's on the internet. Go grab it. And so I do what I need to do, because looking at performance each day. And then I've been practicing recently, not looking at the charts, not looking at the markets at all. I figured out the other day, I've been in the markets for around 10,000 days,
wow.
uh, 40 years, times, 52 weeks and almost 5 days a week. And it was about 10,000. And so all of those days where you just go home and you just can't believe how bad it's been. And it's just like the worst day ever. Worst day in Chesapeake's history. I've said that so many times. And then now I'm like, I can't remember one of those days. And sort of the secret of trading, which is what has happened this year, is I never looked at performance. I never changed the systems. I never overrode the systems. And we came right back and I never saw it and I didn't pay much attention to it. And I think that's what needs to occur. And just sort of say, what are you actually going to do if you're rifling through the charts and watching, some of those days in April with just day after day of just getting destroyed and whipsawed, and you're not going to make one single change. You've promised yourself and your clients that I'm not going to panic and override. Then why are you looking at it? And you can't stop them from looking at it. But every now and then, someone will come to me and I'll be talking to them on the phone. People that work for me mostly, and they'll say, "Yeah, they'll start talking about performance," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, that's good. I'm glad to hear that." But I think not looking at the markets, not looking at performance, giving other people the job to do your trades, execute them, so you can live in this bubble, like a computer would live in a bubble.
Yes. Yeah. I think it could be a good business model. You let that system go. You have confidence in it, and you can do it like a Marine, or to the numbers, to the T, and then you just keep getting the word out, regardless of what it is. Because you have a long term. It's about the long term efficacy of it and the advantages it could offer people, things like that. It's not, yeah, my least sex, the last 6 months have been terrible. Forget it. I can't talk to anybody.
That's right.
What? What? Uh,
Yeah.
that's
I got
crazy
I got an
talk.
I got an email the other day from a firm that was it was a like, here's our performance. It was one of those emails, random email. I don't even know if it probably was not a CTA. I don't know for sure. And it was just a nice, very nice professional email that we both send out showing our monthly performance. And this was a firm I don't remember hearing about. And the performance was minus 31%. And it was just like, matter of factly, right? In big bold letters in the
Yeah.
middle of the email, minus 31%. And I was like, I love that guy. I love him. I love that woman. Whoever's responsible for that, yes.
Wow.
And it made me think like, before I got that email, I thought 31% was kind of really bad. But now I'm like, well, crap, if they're sending it out, it must not be so bad. They're happy with it. I mean, they're just like, this is us. This is who we are. This is what we've done. Of course we sent it out. And it was just so prominent. Sometimes you have to read the fine print
Hmm.
to see if people made money or lost money. But yeah, it was just like my whole attitude changed. So I think if our attitude changes, maybe, like, what do you mean I'm not confident? We have a rigged game here. We have an edge. Look at the history. Look at our back test. You've suffered through ups and downs and drawdowns and reversal of trends. We're suffering through them in some of our markets, and you buy us because you want this diversification. Well, the currencies, commodities, and interest rates have sucked this recently. Good luck on your stocks being long, but that's not why you buy us. You like the trend following, you like the diversification, and you can understand. And we have perfect confidence. And I think maybe we could, if we exude that, it couldn't hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, of
Yeah.
course not. It's like every time you get a pimple on your face, you don't leave the house for a few days. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't. No one can see me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you, nuts? I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it. You get that response. Oh, you look fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're all in
Yeah.
your head about something. You got some issue, and that's me. I suspect there's other people too, but there's some people who are like, oh yeah, I don't like you mentioned with Salem. Just, oh, I don't give a shit. This is
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's maybe more to that point of how at least for me, it's in my own head of being so embarrassed and, oh god, this stinks. Everyone's gonna reject me or something. They're gonna see I suck or whatever. And so February, March, April, at least for me, I was down 16, down 8, down 25 in consecutive months. Get how many people you think I heard from that were calling up, complaining, like, upset? Zero.
Well, yeah,
Zero.
you got a good
Zero.
client base. You have a private fund. You know these people. You've talked to them, and they have an amount invested that's not fatal. They're
Yeah,
not going to
right.
freak
Well,
out. Yeah,
that's all
yeah,
great, very healthy, you know.
yes,
But yeah, I think if there's that dance of talking to people like, okay, you need to trend following is amazing. You got to ditch everything and give it to me. Like, hold on, this might give you a stroke if you're not ready for this type of vol, which I'll tell you right now is normal, but you're going to forget all. You might forget all that when you get a lot of money on the line. So yeah, make it a healthy amount, and then you figure out what that is for you and all those things. But yeah, so that could bring us to a Saban. You like this quote you mentioned the other day? Well,
yeah. I sent it to you. It was like a Instagram, right?
Yeah, it looks like it was a few weeks ago. It looks like he was maybe on a pregame show or a postgame show, and it's like you tweeted this out on October 6th, so a few weeks ago. So here you go. I'll just read it. Everybody who goes to medical school is smart, but not everyone makes it through. And some who make it through don't make good doctors. It's the same with athletes. Some of them have great talent, but they don't have the right psychological disposition. They don't have the right focus on paying attention to detail. And when people are process oriented, they need to find, this is what I want, and this is what I need to do it. And then they have the discipline to execute. And that's when you get a talented player who becomes a great player. So yeah, that speaks to us, especially, okay, you got this system, Jerry. Now, that's great. You got a theoretical system for a theoretical person that'll follow it. You got to follow it. You got to do the things that are correct over and over and over again. And in there, you may notice that Saban didn't mention anything about short-term results. So it was just, this is what I got to do. Nothing, no mention about the results. So maybe he would mention it if he went a little further, but I think that was maybe a good tell that it's like, yeah, this is what we need to do to win and what I need to do to get better. And okay, then I just got to do those things. And that's
Yeah,
how you become really good. Yeah.
it makes me think also of embracing difficulty and the difficulty that comes with lumpy returns from trend following, and embrace that, and be the type of person who can put up with that stuff and how hard it is, not just be great on the computer and back testing, but really putting the back test aside at some point and saying, hey, look, we're not going to improve upon this to where we're going to make 1 or 2% a month. It's going to be ups and downs. And some people are not cut out for that mentality. They want to pretend that, yeah, this is one of the things that I dislike a lot. I know I've mentioned on our podcast before, and it is that you must have a system that suits your personality, or you won't do the trades. So I may want to violate a lot of statistical concepts and proper money management and proper trading concepts, because I have to do that, because if I don't do that, I won't want to do the trades. I need to have a system that's similar to me and my personality. And my comeback is, you should not be trading. You should not do it. If you need to make money on your own terms, then don't just give it to Mike and Jerry, because this style of trading is very difficult psychologically, as we talked about, and you just have to quit trying to improve things to where you improve it so much that it quits making money. Although it's pretty easy to follow then, because you're taking small profits and um, yeah, more of a discretionary type approach.
Yeah. I think you want to fit it to your psychology. That to me is like, okay, you may want to fit it to your risk tolerance.
Yes, risk
That's,
tolerance.
not, oh, I want to feel happy all the time, or I want to feel cozy all the time. Well, maybe stay away from the markets in
Yeah,
general, no matter
yes,
what style you adopt, because you're not, it's all uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and you can't guarantee profits. You can't, especially on a consistent basis. That's not real. So, um, get something that you could test and simulate, and like, okay, I get a good sense of how it works. What's the kind of ride I could come to expect to endure over time? Is this something I'm comfortable with, or is this maybe a little less aggressive or something, whatever? And then, okay, and then naturally feelings are going to come up in the middle of it, and you're getting rocked, and you got to take a new trade. Like, oh, I can't take another loss. I can't. I hate this feeling. I got to make it go away. So I'm gonna stop this, and I'm gonna distract myself with some tinkering or whatever. Some other drama you drum up. But yeah, coming up like with Saban, like, here's what I got to do, and then I have the character to do it. He didn't mention character, but I did there. But I think he would concur with that. Is like, it takes character to keep buying these breakouts. In our case, takes character to show up for practice and get hit and get beat up on the field when you just don't feel like it. Like, I don't know, I had a late night, my girlfriend's giving me trouble, I got this project for his class coming up, or, I don't know, I just don't feel like it. And I've been around that a long time. You can just see people just show up one day, just don't really want to do it. And if you just go to the gym, I've been going to the gym and exercising and being in sports a long time. Go to the gym on a cold, rainy day. Count the average number of people that are there. Not many. Why? Because they don't want to go. They just don't want to get out of the house, and they don't want to get wet and cold, and they just don't want to do it. So it happens all the time. I see it all the time. And it feels that's the same thing. It's just these feelings come up, and you just don't want to do it, but you have the character to do it.
And you would think that going back and doing this back test and seeing how the money that you can make, and you're protecting your capital in a pretty decent way, and it's objective, and it's rules based, and you've done the back test, and you look at the performance, and you're like, I can make a living, I can make good money, I can have a business. That I'm so happy. I mean, how much happier could you be if you had that in your back pocket? And then you say, well, no, I'm not done yet. What do you mean you're not done yet? That's not good enough. No, it's not good enough because I need to get rid of all of the uncomfortable periods that you would have had to live through in this back test. You're kidding, right? You're kidding. This is how life works. You want this smooth life? Then don't get married. Don't have a family. Don't hang out with other people. Oh, stay away from the markets. This whole mentality is just so wrong.
Yeah, it's
That
unrealistic. It's not healthy.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
no.
yeah.
You're not gonna live in some self-sufficient, hedonistic existence where you're by
I
myself.
remember
Nothing ever bad happens. Like, no.
I remember talking to a trader once who was really successful, and we were talking about something like heart stop placement. And I said, I did some research on your idea for a heart stop placement, and it didn't do very well. And he goes, oh yeah, I know. It was suboptimal. That's just my personality. What? Yeah. I mean, you're kidding, right? I mean, your personality. Like, can you imagine looking at the research going and being so excited because we've done research and we've done it together, and we come across something and we're like so excited. Can't believe we uncovered this. Not one time have we ever said, well, let's make it less painful. No, we're like, let's embrace that pain. If all we got to do is have a couple of bad feelings every now and then because we had a bad day or a bad month, and we get this money, I mean, that's an amazing trade-off. I'll take that trade-off all the time. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, it reminds me of I think our last podcast in May, when I was looking at the banner year in '08, one of the great banner years for trend following overall.
Yeah, exactly.
Even then, that was rough. It's
Yeah.
like, God damn it! Can anything just be easy? Like, no, it's not obliged to be easy. Well, that system I show was up 70 and then down 1 and then up 90. It's like, of
I've
course,
actually, yeah,
you know, yeah. Go
I've
ahead, sorry.
actually lived through stuff like that. The month I got
Right,
married in 2011 was the tsunami in Japan
right.
that
Yeah.
tanked, that was they thought was going to cause a nuclear
Yeah,
breach or something.
a
Yeah,
meltdown, yeah.
and it was +9, -9, and then I think we finished pretty healthy up on the month. But yeah, close your eyes.
Yep.
You
Well, I
got the
mean,
system.
bring it to this month too, at least for me. It's like this at one point up this month it was up 9 again, and I think we're up maybe a little less than 1% now, 0.5% or
Hmm.
something.
Yeah.
If you don't know though that this is not new. If you walk into this and you haven't done your work and you don't really dissect it, because that's what it takes for you to stick with it and understand that, okay, it's not broken, it's just how it works.
Hmm.
And I feel like uh, a lot of people scoot over that. They won't dig into it, and then they'll get hit with something like this, or a situation like '08, or countless other ones, and they're, uh-oh, is something wrong? Is something wrong? Do I need to change something? Is this new? Does trend following not work anymore? Uh, those guys in Europe have something better than we do because they did better this year. Uh, uh, you know, hold on. You know, calm down. Okay, let's let's look at it. Look at those trade stats. Walk through daily performance. Kind of look at the worst case scenarios and what you can expect on like when you have bad stretches on what are the worst what's the worst week, what's the worst month, what's the worst day, what's the things like that, and uh, what's the worst intra-month intraday drawdown, things like that. So you just get a sense of, you don't, and after a while you just won't, you'll be like how you are. I don't even look at the performance because I'm so confident in these damn things. So what the hell, it's not gonna sway what I do. So
Oh, I think I don't look at performance sometimes because I don't feel that confident. So I mean, if I felt tremendously confident, I would say being down yesterday or this month means nothing for tomorrow and next month. But I'm like suffering. I don't really want to. I know if I start in, investing in the short-term performance too much, I'm going to feel bad, especially relatively, because that's another thing. We hate losing money, but we really hate losing more or making less than our friends in the industry.
uh-huh. So yeah, and that's, when you're getting to the point of, okay, I want to make this a business, I want to tell people about it, I want to keep telling people about it, what it is, what's the philosophy behind it, how it works, performance characteristics, all those things that would include marketing it to people. And if you're always looking around, uh comparing yourself, whatever interval it is, could be, now you have to go look at daily performance versus ETFs now, yours included. Like, geez, what am I doing wrong? How did he make money? I didn't make this week. Like, fuck,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like,
Yep.
oh, you can't. Again, you'll never get out of the house. You'll succumb to all of this, and this has nothing to do with you. You don't know what they're doing. You don't. None of this was part of your design process. Yeah, okay. Well, in here, I always beat Jerry at least 70% of the time. Like, are you? No, no, that has nothing to do with you. You know, Saban, show up to practice, do the drills, do the work, do the workouts, diet, sleep. We don't know what Iowa State's doing. We don't know what Iowa State, Ohio State, or whoever their rivals are, LSU or Clemson or whatever. They have nothing to do with us. So they don't influence our work. Can't can't happen. Um, so yeah, but that could be just tough, because confidence could be shaken and like, damn, they keep winning, we're not winning. What's going on? Maybe there's some times to look at things, but generally, you can't. I don't believe you can really live like that. But speaking from experience, I have been living like that, so I can tell you it's not fun. Just beat yourself up the whole time. Um,
And you just get in a situation where you know good and well that the only reason you should beat yourself up is when you don't follow the system. You
yes,
take trades you shouldn't trade. You don't take trades that you shouldn't have taken, that you should have taken. And so that's how we need to judge ourselves. How do you judge yourself? A plus. You lost money. How could you give yourself an A plus? Because my job is, once I get done with the back test, is to follow those rules completely 100% and 100% of the time. So, and I did that. And so A plus. Um, yeah. I was in a
I was.
meeting one time with a very large client, and we had a multi-year trade on. It was sugar, long sugar, and it had lasted over 1 year, so maybe 2 years in this sugar trade. And this was like a January, February meeting, and it had had a small drawdown. And the client said, your worst trade this year is sugar. And I'm like, dude, this trade's lasted 2 years. It's one of the biggest trades we've ever had, and it's drawn down and to start the year. And so I can't look at it on a monthly basis on how it's drawn down from the peak. Really? So clients and people who like to won't be your client but like to talk about trading and the problems with trend following, they will get you going in the wrong direction as well, and they're
Yeah,
really
judging
harm your
you,
judging. Yeah,
things
they don't
like
know.
that. Like, what's
Yeah,
wrong with
yeah,
you? How come
yeah.
you didn't? You're not as
You know,
good. Yeah.
you know. Uh, Supposedly Earl Weaver would go out to the mound and Jim Palmer would be pitching, and he said to him one time, "The one thing we know, Earl, is you don't know a damn thing about pitching." And so that's what these clients, the one thing we know, I mean, we know well, they don't know a damn thing about trading, because if they did, they'd be trading
Hmm.
and have the potential to make the money and have the life that we have, because we do know something about trading. So we know they don't know a damn thing about it. Oh, man. I've even had people call me up on the phone in the 90s and say, "You're never going to make money again."
Yeah, I remember you saying that
Yeah.
long years ago. I
Yeah.
can't even, I
You're
can't
in a
even
drawdown.
understand
Yeah. I have
something like that.
evaluated traders. I've evaluated it all. You know, I know what happened. I know when to switch the light, hit the switch. You hit a certain drawdown. I think even Drew's or some famous trader, I think it was Drew's. I think he told me this, or I read it, where he said, I had this cutoff. I did some analysis. I said, if we have this level of drawdown, that's when I'll know it no longer works.
Yes.
Shut it down. Ensuing period, one of the best ever.
I remember, yeah, reading that. I think that's in some literature on his website that's still up and running for he's not operational anymore, but he still has his website up. But yeah, and he said that was the absolute bottom month of the drawdown when
Yes,
he
the
shut it
bottom.
down.
Yeah,
It's like, oh Jesus, of course it was.
exactly.
Of
Of
course
course it
it
was.
was.
Yeah,
Um,
of course it was.
but that's I don't know why he we have to ask him, why he put that rule in, what made him put that rule in. But maybe it could have been a situation too. There's not enough data, and they just thought, oh, this should never happen. Um, given,
The answer to that question is, if it hits this level, I am not going to use this system any longer because of my own personality, and I am going to retire or find another way to trade. And then someone would say, "Oh, so you're saying that if it hits that level of drawdown, the systems are no longer going to work?" Oh, no, no, no. I'm not saying that. I mean, hypothetically, I would guess that as soon as I shut it down, that's the low, and it's going to rocket from there. I'm just making a statement that I am going to do massive changes or not trade at all, because this is more than I personally can handle. But I'm going to get out here and say that as soon as it hits this number, then
mhm.
that's it for trend following. That's ridiculous. And it was ridiculous. It was wrong. And so, hey, you can feel that way, and you can feel you can't take it any longer. But
Yeah,
you're
I think
violating so
that's
many of the things you believe, which is you can't predict what's going to happen in these markets. And one of the things that a lot of trend followers say all the time, I've never said it, but it's probably true. I just haven't really thought about it to the degree where I want to go on record as saying it. And that is, your worst drawdown is always in the future. Maybe that's a math thing that I don't understand, that it must be in the future. But if that's true, then don't get freaked out if you have another one that's bigger than the last one.
Yes. Yes. So we need to go in a couple minutes here, but this has been good. This has been great. But to that final this point about Saban, character, Cruz, and your stories of he'd never make money again, and talking to clients that not a good fit with, and then just your own discipline. Meeting with having lunch with Ed Sakota this week, and I voiced all my frustrations, and as I did back earlier this year, and is one question at the end of hearing me just ramble and rant and be upset. He's like, well, are you being faithful? You're being faithful to your system. I said, of course. And he's like, okay, well, you're doing great. That's what you do. And ask your wife if she'd rather you make the most money all the time or be faithful. So you know what to do, just do it. And it can't be comparing yourself to other people, or again, overlaying the feelings you don't like. I don't like to lose on
Well, I
there
think you should do the opposite. You should lay out all the things you don't like about trading, about investing. I don't like to lose. I don't like profits turn into losses. I don't like waiting for large profits. I don't like taking small losses. I think you should build a system around all of those things that you don't like.
Oh
Embrace,
my, that is it right there.
yes, embrace
That
it. Embrace pain, because then you put yourself in a situation where you're unlike other people and you have a positive strategy that you've back tested and it works great. We've done that over the years. We've tried to come up with ideas like if it's close to being a loss, we tested this one time. If it's close to being a loss, don't get out until it is a loss. So if you've got your stop loss in, but you're going to exit based upon the breakout, and so but don't exit at the breakout. Exit if it turns into a loss. Force yourself to take more losses. And so I think things like that can add a little bit of positive performance. And but that's really where you are. The harder, the
yes.
better. Do the hard thing.
Yes.
And the hard thing is usually the right thing.
You've said obviously these things before, but sometimes you say it differently. You said it differently there, and this hit differently this time. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's end there.
Woo!
Go enjoy your Halloween with your son.
He's just doing a little school walk, so I gotta see him, and then I'll get a break, and he'll be going later. But I get more in trouble with Mama if I don't go.
Why not?
Oh yeah.
And don't forget to post this on YouTube for Oleg.
All right, Oleg, I got you, buddy. We'll get you out there, Siberia, wherever the hell you're at.
We need to have a podcast with Oleg.
Okay.
What do you think? Let's do it.
Sure. He's hard for me to understand sometimes.
Yeah.
I got to.
We can do it.
You can quarterback it. I'll chime in.
Yeah.
I'll put the AI captions up. It'll read me what he's saying. Sometimes it's hard for me to understand.
This has been fun. Thank you.
This is great. We're gonna get back on the regular horse here because we this is what we need to do.
Yes.
We can't be weak about this and only talk when we're rocking. We've said this before, but we're just not sticking to it. And
unapologetic.
It's my fault because I have these issues bad. A
trader needs to love his losses.
Yeah, I got the issues bad, so I'm working on them. And we'll do. Round up some topics over the next week and we'll do these. So yeah, I think 30-40 minutes is mint.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Good luck in your fantasy hockey.
You too. You need it.
You don't have hockey you don't have professional hockey in your city. So all you got is
Oh, it's a
fantasy hockey.
pathetic. It's a pathetic. New York sports
me,
is absolutely
me on
pathetic.
the other hand, I'm looking good with my team. I mean, they're coming back.
They're
No
fine.
one,
They're fine. They're
no one
absolutely
thought
fine.
they sucked except Jack.
Jack.
Jack,
Well, yeah, it was
come on,
six
Jack.
games. 6 games. They stink. Well, yeah, you have no
Yeah,
Kucherov or whatever. It's like, well, yeah.
yeah.
I almost got Hagel from him. Oh man, I almost got Hagel.
I
That would
tried.
have been a fleece.
I
He
tried.
almost caved. Did he consult you about that?
No, I tried to get Hagel, and he said, "You taught me to be longer term." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I was just testing you. I didn't know you were trying as well."
I offered him JT Miller. You want JT Miller? I want to get rid of my guy. I want my Rangers guy. I think I drafted Miller in the first round, so I'm kind of swapping first rounders. Hagel's pretty good. I
He
don't know if
was
he's a
great.
first rounder. He's probably a second
No,
rounder, but
yeah, he's on
man,
the upswing.
damn it. So
Yeah.
got my work cut out for me, but doing okay. We'll be back. I think it's me, you, and my dad of the only 3 guys that have won the title. No one else has won it. It's
Wow.
only us. Jack has not won. So Jack, for everyone, is Jerry's nephew. So we have a group text talking about fantasy hockey bickering. So that's what we're
Jack's a young guy. He says a lot of young guy things.
Young guy things. Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Hope this was good, and we'll be back to you soon. We owe it to you.
Have a good weekend.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.